And welcome to Internet Supreme Court, the court show where we judge the weekly cultural zeitgeist. I'm Chief Justice Bacon. Don't worry, I'm not corrupt like the real Supreme Court. Oh, got a subscriber? Koopa 182. Not corrupt, but we'll do this. You subscribe. Look at all the crap that happens. So subscribe during the show, please, and thank you. Let's welcome our other dishonorable judges to the courtroom. Mr. Dishonorable Nader Boy, Nate Lopez.
Hello. Guns are flying today. This is you can bring guns to this courtroom.
Whoa. Yeah. Arms is what you're saying.
And yes, and guns.
Okay.
So,
well, I guess you know what? You can. It's your own courtroom. You can do whatever you want.
Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. So no further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Moving on to Roger Dishonor, Mr. Matt Kelly.
Look, if we don't have to do the long sleeves today, I'm also joining that team.
It's too hot.
Let's do this.
It's getting hot.
All right. We're going arms.
All our clothes.
Yeah. And you know what? It's an all dude.
Bros. We're just
broing out, man.
Did anyone know why Dishonorable Judge Katie isn't here?
She was too turned on by the other judges. It was causing issues. It was something about the never wearing
other
sleeves.
Daytime judges, like Judge Clancy Brown.
She said every time I see any of those guys, Judge Brown, Judge Bacon, anybody, if I see the arms, it's too much. She went to a Christian college, that happens to people.
That does happen.
Wow, that's sad. We do have another judge, though, sitting in. We have a very special guest judge, the other host of Weird Algorithms, other Dishonorable Judge Matt.
Ooh.
Hi, I don't have a thing that says Dishonorable Judge under my name. I also am not wearing what you're wearing, Bacon, looks like an old a dining room table cover that my parents had when I was growing up. It's
nice.
It's very. Is that what it is?
That's exactly what it is. I went to your house, and your mom was very nice. She gave me a casserole, said let me keep the Tupperware that it came in.
Nice.
That sounds oddly believable to me, honestly, and I can totally see she's trying to get rid of stuff. I get it. They're downsizing as you do.
I know Matt will never use this. He just doesn't eat at the table.
She's always trying to give me table covers and punch bowls and stuff. I was like, I live in New York City. I don't have room for a single thing that I can't use every day.
Besides the cello, besides a stand-up bass.
Besides this thing, yeah.
You can't say you got plenty of room.
This is actually like having a third roommate. It's true, yeah.
Besides the cello, besides the mini orchestra.
Yep, they're just out of frame over there. That's a whole playing me on and off.
I'm just glad to find out that I'm not
in New York City, Bacon.
I was gonna say, I'm just glad to find out I'm not the only one who, God forbid, if he has to go pick up a thing from his parents, somehow leaves with 15 other things from the basement that they found.
Yeah, it's tough. I
had to go get my birth certificate to go get a real ID, and they gave me my high school diploma as well. I was like, I don't think they need this.
What am I going to do with this? It's so important.
Show it to him too. Show it to him too. It'll be real ID, real diploma.
I love to show your high school diploma, like when you're trying to get through TSA at the airport. Like, how about this? You like more proof?
Huh?
Uneducated man, huh? Well, please come in.
No big deal.
Fine, sir.
All right, we got a lot to talk about. A lot happened in the news, so let's get on to the news. Awesome. A lot this week, a lot to talk about. I don't want to jump too far ahead. 1 second here. First big thing, the Karen Reed trial, the second trial. I don't want to get too much into detail about this. I think we're going to have a lot to talk about this in the future, but this is a big thing. She was found guilty of one thing, and it was drinking and driving. And that's it. If you know anything about this case, it's so stupid. It's infuriating. And I can't really wait to talk about it later because Netflix has already announced that they're doing a docuseries about
of course. This is the easiest call in easy calls.
Yeah.
The most I know about this case was just someone I knew who was watching it obsessively the entire time it was unfolding. I knew someone who was just really, really obsessed, and I don't know anything about it other than that it was an obsession for a lot of people.
It's a big deal up here, and I've purposely been avoiding it, but it's become people's entire personality up here in Massachusetts.
Big time.
Yeah. My wife followed the whole first trial. But the second one, she's like, it's the exact same thing again, and it's
like Tiger King 2. You can't do it twice.
Well, this will be back. I'm calling it. This is going to be in the zeitgeist once the Netflix thing comes out.
I agree.
There is already, Discovery Channel has fallen so far. This is what Discovery Channel does. They make the Netflix documentary basically before the other one, like as fast as possible.
Sure.
That was like when the one day there was like 5 Diddy trial documentaries that came out on the same day.
Yep.
And I'm like, we have no new information. What is this documentary going to give me that hasn't been in the news ad nauseum?
And they're all very like reality TV style of like, but then they found the weapon.
I think overall, all of these documentaries, the return is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. You know, like the big profound thing at the end, and then I was fired from making the band in it.
But you know what? I'm going to give a shout out to one docuseries on Netflix right now because they're doing that train wreck thing. Every Tuesday, it's a new documentary about a train wreck of some type. And last week it was Astro World. This week it's about that crazy mayor from Canada that everyone
Rob Ford.
Rob Ford. And next week, I'm very excited. Set your calendars, folks. It's Trainwreck, the Poop Cruise, all about those people that were stuck on a cruise ship pooping out windows.
That's good TV right there.
That does sound fun. God, do you remember when Rob Cruise? That was like a novelty. Or it's not Rob Ford.
Yeah,
confused him with the Cruise. Rob Ford. Like that was a point where it was like still novel to have an absolutely batshit insane politician.
Well, each one has gotten worse because Rob Ford begat Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson begat Donald Trump. You know, I guess you could start off with Boris Yeltsin. He was the first buffoon, but
I mean that's a long lineage to trace back of buffoons in public office. But there was a moment where it was like, oh, this is kind of like, isn't it? Maybe because we saw it, at least in America here, from a slight distance, where we're like, get a load of this guy. He's absolutely insane.
Yes.
And now it's a lot less funny nowadays. But I remember laughing back then.
Oh, people would like do supercuts of just clips from Tommy Boy and be like,
oh, yeah, just him sweating.
It was so much more funny than Marion Barry's crack cocaine thing, too. I don't know why. That one was a lot sadder than Rob Ford doing crack. I can't tell you why.
I think it's because Rob Ford, you looked at him and you already knew that he did crack.
Yeah.
It wasn't
like,
a surprise.
well, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
It's Tim Hortons and crack for that guy. Speaking of things with diminishing returns, we talked about Lego Masters, and last week I said that Will Arnett used to be funny, and I think it was the execs. Now I know actually that Will Arnett was just checked out this season.
Yeah, he's done.
Because Nick Cannon will replace Will Arnett in the host of Lego Masters, and this might be the biggest downgrade in a show.
I want to lean into this. I want to see Arrested Development season 10 with Nick Cannon.
Okay, then it makes it good.
9 with
then
Nick
it
Cannon.
would make it good. Yes, that's the only thing that would make. Otherwise, this is a huge. It's awful. There in the subreddit, in this subreddit, people have started a change.org petition to get Nick Cannon off as being host.
I'm gonna lean the other way. I think Nick Cannon is so desperate for work, he's gonna be good because nothing is worse than a checked out bored comedian with money. Will Arnett has fuck you money, so he's done. You know.
Well, speaking about Will Arnett's money, did you guys see about how he and the guys from the Smart List podcast are starting a phone company?
God,
everybody starts a phone company.
So Trump also just announced a phone company, which is really bad timing if you're a comedian also launching a phone company. But Will Arnett, Jason Bateman, and Sean Hayes are launching a Smartless mobile provider.
Jesus Christ.
I'm
Which
with
is like-
Ryan Reynolds right now.
Yeah.
So I might
Yeah.
change. Yeah.
I remember when they all did vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
It's-
it's phone company.
It's phones. Like,
You
what
know-
a weird. I want to know who in Hollywood is pitching these meetings. This has to be someone who's like, oh, you know what you need to do now is start a phone. Start a phone.
I don't know if we're going to talk about the Trump phone later on in the news. I feel like there's bigger Trump news, but I had to laugh today. Someone had posted about the Trump phone, and it was one of those long, angry Facebook rants about like, it costs this much money. It's being made in China, blah, 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 blah. Just
There's
like
the Trump phone.
all the stuff that we already know that we hate. Like, it's just like, okay, you're preaching to the choir. But the top comment after their long Facebook stats that made me laugh was, yeah, but can I play Snake on it? And
That's so funny.
and like that is the perfect response to someone writing like a paragraphs of anger about this.
They're working on some Snake integration right now.
Yeah.
Some great people are on the case. They're working
There's
on
been
it.
discussions of Snake.
Yeah.
There's plans of Snake.
There was an ESPN phone like 20 years ago that came out, bombed. This has that stink of it,
I don't get it, man. It seems like a really bad idea to me as an investment or anything. I mean, but I guess that does maybe explain why Will Arnett has been preoccupied. He's been distracted by his Lego duties because he's trying to start a phone company.
Yeah. I say we do a change.org for Bacon to become the new host of.
Oh my God. I would
the
totally be
passion
into
he
it.
has.
Yeah.
I'd be into it. But here's the problem with Nick Cannon. All you need is his kids watching, and then viewership doubles.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true.
That's already like a MASH final episode share.
Yeah.
12 kids, I'm pretty sure.
I actually signed that change.org petition. I've never done that ever, and I signed up for it.
This
just
was the
as-
issue.
This is the final. This is the straw that broke the camel's back right here.
I mean, I don't know, because like, who else would they choose? Michael Rappaport is like next choice, and I just
Hamish Blake. I would get Hamish from the Australian version. Do the American version.
I don't know if that would ever
Do the
work
whole
for
thing
me.
upside down. But let's get to the big news story. The big news story that we all know about is the Trump parade. The sad Trump parade. There's a lot of memes on it. It's your birthday at Saturday night, but you've made one critical mistake. You threw a $45 million parade for yourself without realizing you'd be bored out of your mind.
Parades are so boring. As
So
an ex-military member,
unbelievably
they
boring.
are so.
This is probably the biggest one. Squeaky Tank is probably the biggest one I've seen.
That is a
Jesus.
very squeaky tank.
And look like how empty and sad. Yeah, a parade is very generous. Let's compare it to some of the signs
That's very funny.
from the protest from the No Kings. This is a good one. If you,
That's good.
That's
Yeah,
a
if
really
you-
good. That's
yeah.
a really good sign.
that's a Ferris Bueller's Day Off reference. If you didn't
Yes.
know, and here is Chicago alone, way more packed than that parade. Here's another section of Chicago during that, also way more packed than that parade.
And the river is green.
Yeah. Now here's the thing: has anyone here actually watched the parade?
No,
Just like little clips. Yeah, I did not sit down and watch
I
it.
don't watch parades.
Okay.
I
I
don't
took-
do it.
I took the whole parade. I put it into Final Cut, and I went through and I basically watched the whole thing.
You
Like
fast
just seeing-
forwarded the parade.
I fast forwarded through the parade, which is like walking against the grain of the parade, right?
Mitch
Yeah.
Hedberg.
Yeah, Mitch Hedberg, right? And
That's funny.
here's the thing.
That's funny.
So let's just give them the benefit of the doubt on this argument that they've made, that this is actually not a Trump parade. This is a parade for the Army. This is the 250th anniversary of the Army.
Uh-huh.
And this is supposed to be celebrating the Army. And okay, we were planning this for years. It didn't have a parade. And yes, Donald Trump asked for this parade right now, but it is not about Donald Trump, okay? This is about the Army. Okay,
Sure.
it's not Trump's parade.
Okay.
So when I watched the whole goddamn parade, I started to notice a pattern on things. One, here's the set. Oh, and here's a shot of Donald Trump. Oh, and then there's another shot of Donald Trump. And then when we see, this is the start of the world's saddest parade of literally also just, and then it goes to Donald Trump. And then they show some like Revolutionary War time people doing. These are the only good marches that you see all day. It's a lot of saluting to Donald Trump. Oh, and there it is to Donald Trump. Get Donald again. Oh, look, at least you know what? Benefit. You got Civil War. They picked the good guys, I think.
That's good. Shocking.
We're lucky it is the Union. Thank God.
I know that really could have gone either way.
Right? The fact that shocked me. You know,
yeah,
says a lot. Yeah,
it does say a lot.
Ooh, Donald Trump.
Everybody looks so bored. Look at Pete.
Wow. There were ads for like Lockheed Martin and shit. Yeah, sorry, Nate.
Yeah, no, Pete just has the alcohol shakes. That's all.
Yeah.
A lot of saluting to oh my God, he doesn't even care. He doesn't want to be there. Just all these guys not even marching well.
So I wanted to ask you a question about that, actually, because I heard someone talking about this on a different podcast.
Okay.
And I would love to get you and Nate's take on this. Because the take that I kept hearing was there is no military in this world where you don't know how to properly march in a parade throughout training unless you are intentionally marching sloppy out of like a quiet protest, almost like a one of the, what do they call it, where you like don't quit the job, but you just stop doing the work.
Quiet quitting.
Yeah. Do you think that this is soldiers quiet quitting at this thing, or just they don't give a shit?
So they were if you read like so then I also read the press release, and then they were told that they were in I forgot the Army's term for it, but it's when you have to march like around base, like from your barracks to the chow hall or something. Usually it's kind of a little bit more like you're a little bit okay. You try to match up, but you're not like trying to stay awesome in form. That was what they were told they could do for this parade because it was such a long parade.
Do we buy that?
It's how we march in the Navy.
Yeah.
Navy, okay. They really didn't teach us how to march at all. This is
the Marines take marching very seriously.
Yeah.
I say we have two veterans here. I didn't know that you were as well, Nate. You were in the Navy?
Yeah, I was on a submarine.
There you go.
And there's no marching on submarines.
I was in ROTC for a year, so I think that I also count.
Well, thank all three of you for your service. I have never done anything for anyone in my life.
We'll get to. You can see that it wasn't even that. This is the place where it would be most packed, and there's no one there. There you could see like people are just kind of marching, whatever.
Well, also like Americans have never been truly known for marching. Like we've always relied on our might rather than
Coinbase.
Coinbase ad. Okay.
Yeah. This dumb Jeep, this dumb outfit, oh my God, like the way he salutes.
That face.
He's a fucking draft dodger.
Yeah.
Oh, Marco Rubio bored out of his mind.
He's married to a Melania clone.
Christy Noem. Right? Yeah, she's dressed like she's going to go watch Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, she looks like Maverick right now.
Is she going to a midnight screening where you yell at the screen and dress up as
with her discount Rob Lowe husband. UFC? Okay, that makes sense.
Sponsor, sure.
Oh, no, I want to point this out. This is awesome. So basically all this is like, look at associating military with Donald Trump and all the saluting. Yes. That's all this is. And it's also an ad to try to get you to join the Army. There's a bunch of this stuff in here. And everybody got their own little title card of Revolutionary War, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, everybody. But then after 9/11, just so you know, if you join the military, you don't even get your own war anymore. You get just global war on terror. That's what you get under. That's what you get underneath your thing.
Yep. We're Gwats. It sucks, man. Really
you don't even get to call yourself a veteran of a specific war. It's literally just go off and go do whatever rich people. And then they literally come back to children. These morons. So if anybody knows these idiots, don't be friends with these guys. My God. Look how little people there are.
Oof.
Wow.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm actually even surprised by how light that is. That's really light.
Yeah, that's Austin city limits day 4. It's like
I don't
at
even
1
know,
PM.
Nate. I think that has better attendance. Lollapalooza has better attendance on last day
Wow.
than the slowest tanks in the world. These children being indoctrinated, but also that one on the right yawning. Such the boring. And then a U.S. Army ad in the middle of this thing. Back to there at one point, they showed this is at time 8 speed. They showed Donald Trump for like a solid 5 minutes.
Yep.
Just sitting there.
Why does Melania dress like Carmen Sandiego?
Because she needs to be able to escape at any point.
I think you know the answer to that question.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, you know who got less screen time? This guy. This guy's got barely anything else. Medal of Honor recipient. Oh, never mind.
Yep, sorry, that's enough.
Move on.
You know, back more shots of this guy.
Draft dodger. Fucking
Oh,
draft.
here we go, Jaden having a blast.
He's the only person enjoying himself.
He's having a blast. He's like, my head is getting bigger.
IQ of
here we go.
65.
Here we go. We got somebody playing Candy Crush.
Yeah,
over
he's
here.
getting a text just as they cut to him.
Yeah.
I see you on fascist TV.
Could
Oh,
he
the drums.
have Jose? Go back.
Yeah.
Could that man have a wider spread in his sitting position
yeah.
if he tried?
That
Dominant. That's a dominant position.
That man rides Clydesdales.
that is a PSA for man spreading. Post that on the subway in New York.
He has to buy 2 seats when he flies. Just for his knees.
Oh man, this always pisses me off, dude. You missed your neck, idiot.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point in doing? Like, that's like movie makeup on.
He looks like
Oh, I was waiting for these guys to show up.
My
Donald
fiance
Trump did
works
salute
for,
these.
my fiance works for Boston Dynamics. She makes those.
Mm.
Then there's another ad in the middle that features Donald Trump.
The officers appointed over me,
Fucking hate his voice.
according to regulations,
Please welcome country music sensation and proud supporter of our troops, Warren Ziders.
Who?
Whoa.
Now, I
Not
want
know
you to.
that
Do you
person.
notice something about the setup, the way the stage is set up?
They're facing Trump, not any of the crowd.
Yeah. The whole thing is set up facing towards Donald Trump. If you came to watch this, you're watching the backs of these guys' heads.
This is
Wow.
absurd. God.
Wow.
It's just absurd, man.
And
That's so awkward. I can't even imagine doing a show like that.
Things the President of the United States has told his entire administration.
so this is another thing I just really want all politicians to stop doing. Like, if you could just say something that you believe, but stop trying to loop yourself directly into it, because now it's everything is about Donald Trump, and no
And
one
one of
knows.
the things the President of the United States has told his entire administration, from the Vice President on down, is that we must remember that the young men and women who put on the uniform and serve this nation are our most precious resource.
You are a resource. You are not a person. You are not a hero.
You are a
are
resource.
fuel for a machine.
Which is why he dodged it.
Yeah.
He's not fuel.
You're right, though. It is really interesting that he is has no interest in having other people have an opinion. He's like, and here's another thing Trump told me to say.
Yeah.
Yep.
and tonight you have made all
Trad
Americans
rock VP.
very proud. They're watching from all over the world, actually.
He had to bring. Hey, everyone's watching. Because he's looking around and no one's there. So he's like, but they're watching from all over the world.
Yeah.
Even though I'm pretty
because
sure I'm the
other
only
countries-
motherfucker who watched this. I have
I'm sure
to be.
other countries were like, I got to check out what's happening in that army parade over in the States. We got to check in that.
What kind of suit do you want to wear? I'm thinking pimp from 1850. Can you do that?
Who is this man?
Christ.
I can tell you who this man is.
Let me play and see if this answers your
I
question.
can tell you from that face.
This is Lee Greenwood,
Lee
the guy who
Greenwood,
sings
baby.
"Proud to Be an American."
Yeah.
I had to laugh. I think Seth Meyers was talking about this parade this week, and he played an ad where they're like, and Lee Greenwood will be there singing "God Bless the USA," and he was like, "Yeah, Was he going to play a deep cut? Was that what he was gonna
That's a good one.
He pulls out a guitar. Now we're gonna do a little bit of Wonderwall, all right?
See, that I would watch.
Just play Proud to Be an American again.
You're gonna listen to my new shit.
Look at this guy in the lower left.
Here's one off the new album.
Worst time to be on TV right there. Just basically taking a hand bath.
Yeah.
Then there's some songs, a bunch of fireworks, more Donald Trump.
They look like they're in love.
Oh and 250. There you go, Army. This is your 250 year, Army. I hope you're very happy and proud of that presentation that was totally about you and not about another person. There's no reason why you should be mad about that if you are a veteran.
By the way, we've already passed how much Sesame Street cost for PBS. So
yeah, this is really upsetting.
This is a camera I got of him the entire time. 99% of the time, he looks miserable and bored.
Yep.
Like he thought of the parade. He thought his parade was going to be like a dictatorship parade. He thought he was going to get Kim Jong-un.
He was looking for Mein Kampf.
Yeah.
And he got this.
Yeah. And this is estimated. It has to be double this.
Oh, easy.
So I don't believe that. So that's the basic news this week. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I skipped over. Matt, you had something that you'd like to talk about in the news, right?
You, Milligan.
Me?
Yeah.
Wait, what did I want to talk about in the news?
A beloved pop star that's having a drug overdose in a
yeah. Sorry. Jesus. Sorry, I just got so distracted by those horrible, horrible numbers I saw on screen. Everyone's favorite pop star currently in maximum security prison, R. Kelly. Apparently, just a couple days ago, he overdosed. I'm just going to read this right here. On June 13th, Kelly was hospitalized following an apparent overdose while incarcerated at the Federal Correctional Institute in North Carolina. His attorneys alleged that after being placed in solitary on June 10th, he was giving anxiety medication, followed by an increased dosage on June 12th. They claimed this led to dizziness and vision loss before he collapsed. He was transported to Duke University, where medical evaluations reportedly revealed blood clots in his lungs and legs. Despite these concerns, Kelly remained under medical observation for 2 days before being discharged and returned to prison on June 15th against medical advice. Wow. His attorneys subsequently filed an emergency motion for release, citing mistreatment and concerns over his safety in custody.
Poor guy.
So, as we just were talking about, maybe we're about to see some new chapters of Trapped in the Closet.
Yeah.
I think this is the only thing that's been holding him back. This prison nonsense.
This prison thing's really gotten in the way
prison
nonsense.
Of his art.
There's still so much meat left on that bone.
Those pesky human trafficking crimes.
We have 33 chapters.
I know. There's still so much to explore.
Moving on, we're going to move on to Nate, your television this week.
Yes, I've got some TV.
And winter is coming. I am the one who knocks.
Bazinga!
All right.
This week we're going to do something a little different. I wanted to create a little list of my own personal TV Hall of Fame. Okay, and every once in a while we're just going to break one of these out. And this week we went to something that Bacon and I, we ran into sometime over COVID. We were our own little circle in COVID, and we got deeply into MTV's The Challenge. If you don't know about MTV's The Challenge, what's that, Bacon?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry, I got excited.
So MTV's The Challenge started way back in, like 2001. Maybe earlier than that, the late 90s. They took the Real World and Road Rules cast members and made them basically do carnival games against each other that turned into an actual like reality sport. It's got a whole lore. They're on season 41 now. If you don't know about it, I could not recommend it enough.
Season 41?
A lot of these reality shows do 2 seasons per year. Like Survivor's about to hit season 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the challenge started like the first season was seriously back in 97. They've done at least one season ever since. It's been going for a minute.
Wow.
Yeah.
TJ Lavin is the host now. He's been the host for, I think, going on 25 seasons now. It's
Beloved host.
yeah, he's just a wonderful host and he loves his job. And well, today I want to talk about maybe my favorite clip from the show. So it's called Banana's Backpack. Now, when you look at Banana's Backpack, I got to show you a little clip here. You have to pull it Zapruder style because MTV is real bad about all their copyrights. But I found this shaky version online. What you're seeing here is CT Tamburello. He is here on the left. Johnny Bananas is on the right. Right away, you'll notice a couple things. One, CT is a gigantic man. This man is much larger than Johnny Bananas. This is how they sit. Johnny Bananas is no slouch. No. CT, Chris Tamburello, he's from Boston, Massachusetts. He was originally on The Real World Boston. Next to him is Johnny Bananas. He's from California. He was originally on Real World Key West. His name is Johnny DeCincent or something. DeVincent, I don't know, but he's Johnny Bananas. That's all you got to know. They are tied back to back. There's a garbage can to the right in front of Johnny Bananas, a garbage can to the left in front of CT. What you're trying to do is pull your opponent and hit your own garbage bag with them, or garbage can. All right. These games are dumb. As you go through, you'll see what happens here. CT, the man among men, leans forward, picks up a 220-pound man on his back, and he carries him like a Sasquatch across the stage or across this area, and he throws him like a child into a garbage can. How long did it last, you might ask? 19 seconds. Okay. I want you to think about what you just saw. You saw a grown man sitting, legs straight out, lean forward, bring his legs under him, squat, stand up with a man who is 220 pounds on his back trying to get off. And he carries him without breaking a sweat. Let's learn about our players. So, I always do this. Arrows. Use arrows, Nate. This was 2010. This season was called Cutthroat. It was the elimination of Bananas and Tyler. Tyler is another man who went second. Bananas went first. CT, he is considered one of the GOATs. There are 3 GOATs that are men. CT is one of them. His case, 5 championships. He's won $1.3 million. He's the most feared challenger of all time.
Easily.
And he's been disqualified twice for fighting. This was his face 1 second before we started this elimination. Okay, I live in Boston. You see a man with that face at that height walking towards you, you cross the street. I don't care where
the Red Sox just lost, cross the street. Check your phone. What was the score?
The angriest townie face of all time.
Yeah. That guy's upset he went to Dunkin'. They are out of large cups. He got 2 mediums, but he was mad.
Yeah.
Yep. That guy has his wife's name is Barb, and she is in a bad mood tonight.
Oh, she is. Don't go in the den.
You can't go to Bob.
Don't go in the den.
On the other side, you have Johnny Bananas. This is him 1 second in. He's got a steely face here. He knows it's going to be a battle, but that's a man who doesn't know what's about to happen to him. His case for GOAT, he's won 7 times. He's won more money. He's the smartest player ever. His claim to fame, I think I'll take the money and run, TJ. What's that from? He was on top of a mountain. He had just won with a partner. Her name was Sarah Rice. They had won $1 million. They asked Sarah what she was going to do with the money. She was going to start a school, like to help the community. What was Johnny going to do? He said he was going to go on vacation. Here's the kicker. Johnny's time was actually 2 minutes faster than Sarah Rice's time because they climbed a mountain at the end. And Johnny Bananas technically beat her, even though they were partners. TJ Lavin asked him, do you want to split the money or do you want to keep the money? They've been up for 3 days. They've just climbed a mountain. He looks at his partner and he says, I think I'll take the money and run, TJ.
Wow.
He left Sarah Rice on top of a mountain, who thought she had just won $500,000 with zero.
She has never recovered from that moment.
She quit her reality TV career on top of that mountain. She stopped doing it.
So
wow.
I also want to just throw in a little context for Matt. I have never watched The Challenge, but I am a watcher of trashy reality TV, and the CT Johnny Bananas thing literally continued all the way until last year on the season of The Traitors, when they were on that show together, and CT was very vocal in banishing Johnny Bananas first from the castle.
As you should. As you should. Anybody smart enough would get rid of Johnny Bananas first time, first chance you get. Get him the hell out of there. He is a little weasel. You think he's done, and he'll work his way back in. I don't understand. Nobody likes him, but yet everybody will be on his side come elimination time. It doesn't make any sense.
It's honestly like watching The Prestige, watching him work. He's such a slime ball. And, you're driving home this fucking 1988 Astro van. Like, how the fuck did I buy this?
Meanwhile, CT is more of like just a bull. He will knock you over. He will scare you. So these are two greats, but in two totally different ways. And they have never seen eye to eye.
Wow.
So at this moment, they're strapped back to back. Winner touches their own garbage can. The game, there's two challengers. CT was brought on to the show as a ringer here. Because more lore. He hadn't been on the show in 5 years because of those disqualifications. He had punched and broken his orbital bone. So they kicked him off the show. This
also because the show security couldn't stop him. He had men draped over him, and he was walking like he was a Terminator, and nobody could stop him.
Terrifying. So they kicked him off the show. They couldn't insure him anymore. He was brought back here as a test because the ratings were falling. They brought him back. You look at the ratings that season, down, 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 huge spike, gigantic spike. So this was him re-auditioning for the show. They get on. He carries her. This is what the other faces looked like as they're watching this. All because of this goddamn psychopath. So the last thing I want to show you here, this is the raw video. Somehow somebody put it on YouTube. The raw video. I think we can play it with sound here. But this is them on set. They don't know CT's coming yet.
No.
There's Johnny.
Is that Ruthie? CT? It's Kenny, dude.
Yeah, they're all terrified just
They're all
even of the
guessing.
thought.
Yep. Now look at CT as he stands there. These are grown. Okay, every single guy here is on steroids. First off, I need to point this out. They all work out. They're all on steroids. They are terrified. Terrified.
I'm happy I'm back.
He's so coked up in the moment. Like he can't stand still. This man is taller than bacon. Like he's just a gigantic man. He's huge. And here we go. Watch how he walks here. And here it is, the stomping.
Oh my God.
He's like flexing. He knows it's already over. You don't need to throw your opponent into the can. You just needed to knock it over.
That's a metal can they just broke. And my favorite here is Johnny Bananas knows, well, shit, no matter how many times I win, this is going to be replayed at my funeral.
Yeah.
And there he goes. He just does his work, gets out of it, moves on. Ladies and gentlemen, Bananas Backpack, the first Hall of Fame inductee.
I love it. That's amazing. I looked it up while you were playing. So I didn't realize the first 2 seasons of this show are Road Rules All-Stars and Real World versus Road Rules. So those I watched. That's right in the sweet spot for me of watching MTV as a teenager.
Yep.
And I didn't realize that this is essentially just a continued version of that. That paints a clearer picture for me of what this is.
if you go back and watch them, they're legitimately fun to watch. You like the early ones, there's so much freaking sexism. It's like tough. But once you get past the island, it starts getting a little better. And it's
the island, skip the island. That one's brutal.
It's tough to watch. It's a survivor copy.
I say, there's a few years where it's really great. Like, what is it? The Ruins and the Gauntlet.
Oh, just the names alone on here are incredible. The Gauntlet, the Inferno 2, the Gauntlet 2, Fresh
so
Meat,
much fun.
the Inferno 3.
So much fun. I genuinely love it. It's my trash. I will watch it till it's gone. You know, it's just wonderful trash. And so thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Love it.
All right, let's take a quick 5-minute break. And then when we come back, we're going to finish the saga that is the cold case of Matt Kelly kids' health videos in his own backyard.
Boner bet.
We're really excited. Matt Kelly, every week you bring a great cold case.
I want us to just watch this. Let's just take in this commercial, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. And then I'll ask you the question on what you're voting on. But introducing my good friend, Zach the Lego Maniac.
I know a boy, his name is Zach. He loves to fit, he loves to stack. Yes, construction is his knack. He's Zach the Lego Maniac. He builds in the windows, off the wall. He builds them big, he builds them small. In Lego land, he'll rock and roll. He's Lego wild, out of control. Zach, he's a Lego Maniac. Zach.
Legoland, King's Castle, Airport, Cosmic Fleet Voyager, sold separately from Lego Systems.
How did I remember every part about that, but forgot every part about that?
Yeah.
My brothers and I used to tease each other with this. It would be Sam, he's a dildo maniac.
This room,
the best room ever.
Oh my God. This room has aged so well. You could plop this into today.
Yeah.
This could be some streamer's background.
Having those oversized aviators on your wall right now.
And they're mirrors. It's a mirror.
That's better than a mirror.
My wife's watching. Ruth, I'm going on Amazon right now. I'm seeing if they have mirror sunglasses I could hang on the wall.
We talked about this last week with some of the cinematics of these commercials. This shot, gorgeous.
Every frame a painting.
If you like blew that up, oversaturated it a bit, you could hang that in some fucking museum.
How much is your rent in the metaverse?
5,800 crypto a month.
What kind of crypto?
Just like an assortment, like all kinds, really.
What do you do for a living?
Zoom calls.
What's the best restaurant in the metaverse?
That's tough. Any with QR codes. I'm old-fashioned like that.
What's the best dessert spot?
Techno cookies all day.
What's your favorite clothing store?
The Balenciaga NFT.
Best neighborhood?
The Quibi District.
Best movie theater?
Oh, my buddy Tim's Oculus headset is like super charming.
And what's the best band in the metaverse?
Gotta be the Gorillas.
It won't stop. You ever cease to amaze me? If you beat it, then why can't you see it? These words so simple, yet you can't seem to see them at all. You beat it, then why can't you see it? I say it time, say it from the book of
Gen Z is online now, you say. That is no threat to us wry millennials. They know not how epic bacon is. They are not frickin' random.
Yeah, you might want to take a look at this.
Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Back at it again with the white van.
What the fuck?
Shirtless Dave's Amusement Park grand reopening. Come ride Back Hair's Revenge. Bash your friends on the belly bumper cars. Enjoy the views from the giant nipple. Consume a shirtless dog and wash it down with an ice-cold Mountain Dew Pit Sweat Blast. Only available at Shirtless Dave's Amusement Park. Don't worry, the swings are closed now. Wait, kids, get off those swings! How does this keep happening?
We're back.
Woo! I want to say something real quick because I didn't even think to mention this, but in that recess, we saw a brief snippet of the band Lame Gretzky. I officiated their guitarist Mark's wedding on Saturday.
Wow.
So congratulations to Mark of Lame Gretzky.
Bacon
Congrats,
will be
Mark.
officiating mine in a year. Yes. No, not
very
Bacon.
excited.
My friend Ben. Bacon will be standing next
Fuck
to me.
you,
so
Bacon.
Wow,
I
that
don't
was
want him talking.
that was the quickest hiring and demotion I've ever seen.
I know, right? Wow.
Oh man. Yeah, well, you know what, Nate? I'm busy on whenever your wedding is.
I know.
I have a
You have to
thing.
stand next to me.
No, damn it.
All right. Well, we're doing part 2. This is a cold case. You hit
Focus,
it, Bacon.
baby. Bow, part 2.
Part 2. So this is going to be exciting because 3 of us have some rough idea of what's in store. Milligan's going to be kind of our first time viewer here. I think there's 4 or 5 in total. We've watched 2 of them. We'll watch whatever remains on this VHS tape rip. But for a quick behind the scenes, in case you didn't watch last week's episode, which what are you doing? Get on it. My mom in the 90s was hired at her work, DuPont Children's Hospital, to produce a series of 1 to 2 minute long PSAs with the intention of them playing on Saturday mornings in between cartoons. These things never went anywhere past that production that was shot. But in order to save money, myself and most of my family are the stars of these PSAs that we're about to watch.
Say the sweaters are the stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty generous.
And the cinematography is
All
pretty
right,
good.
so
Not
yeah,
the
all things considered, not too bad. There is these long lulls. All right, hand washing. We're about to watch a 58-second episode about hand
Finally,
washing.
someone
Glad it's
tackles
in
the
stereo.
hard topic. All
God,
right.
I'm fucking tired of this mono bullshit.
It's time for a Kids Health Tip from correspondents Susie Q and Ted Kibble.
We can't say
Ace
bye,
reporter
but then say
on the
tip.
scene.
Hello, everyone. It's that time of year.
Sneezing season.
But kids can beat the nasty cold or flu. Ace Reporter tells us how.
Colds spread like wildfire at schools, daycare
This is all
centers,
stock
and
footage.
playgrounds. Germs from an infected person can live for hours on toys, doorknobs, and, well, anything you touch. The answer? Water and soap. Kids should learn to wash their hands often with hot water and soap for at least 15 seconds. Remembering that tip could save you a
15
trip to
seconds?
the doctor. Should have washed my paws.
That's today's Kids Health Tip. See you next time.
This Kids
Why
Health
is the
Tip has
dog
been
at
brought to you
work?
by the Nemours Foundation.
Yeah,
That
that
dog should be at home.
Yes, I agree.
It's spreading its sickness to everybody. God, that dog's work ethic is
Listen.
too high.
Used his God-given name, Ted Kibble. Please.
I don't. Dogs only
Show
live
some
for-
respect to Ted Kibble's name.
He only
You
lives
know
for like
what?
10
I don't think
years.
it's his real name. I don't think it's his real name.
You think it's a stage name?
Yeah, I think his name's like Bradley. Or I think it's Bradley.
Yeah.
I don't think dogs should have jobs at all. They only live for like 10 years.
That's a hot take, Nate.
Every
Some
day at
dogs-
work is like a week for them. Okay, time works differently for dogs. It is
Those
what it is.
snow dogs that pull sleds, that love to pull sleds, they
That's
need to
not a
have
job.
That's a
They
job.
pull
Oh,
sleds.
that's
They
those
carry-
dogs
Not
work.
a job.
They
Nate?
carry alcohol for people that they find in the snow. I've seen cartoons about it.
Yeah,
I think those
Beethoven.
dogs, if you pulled nothing, those dogs would still do it. That's not a job. That's a hobby. Dogs can have hobbies.
I just do not know if I agree with that take. I think we can all agree that was the weakest of the ones that we've watched so far. though.
These dogs are hauling freight as a hobby through the snow just for fun, just because they're bored.
I'm so distracted on Nate's take on this.
That is wild take.
They would do it if you strapped an empty sled to them. They would go. See, not a job.
What? So when a semi truck driver is driving an empty load, not a job.
Well, they're
Not a
going
job.
to a job, right? The dogs, what I'm saying is the dogs don't understand that they're moving goods.
Listen,
right.
I've seen a documentary where the dogs walk over and they punch in and punch out for each other.
Well, then those dogs shouldn't have to. That's like a week of their lives.
Okay, what about an Air Bud? If Air Bud made it to the pros, it's a
Would it-
job.
I think there's rules against that now.
There's no rules. I've
rules.
seen the
dog
movie.
playing.
That's the whole
And I'm
thing.
saying, I think
They
it's
just
been
need to wear
changed.
shoes.
Well, I wouldn't do that to a dog. Okay, it's too much. The percentage is too much of their life.
All right. Anyway, I'll give you a little spoiler alert on this episode, Broken Bones, that we're about to watch.
Oh, what a great title.
This is where Matt Kelly shows up. See if you can spot young Matt Kelly.
Wow.
Ooh. All right, I'm looking. Are you in the E?
It's in the middle of the O.
It's time for a Kids Health Tip from correspondents Susie Q and Ted Kibble with Ace Reporter on the scene.
Hello,
Off the set,
everyone. Every year, thousands of kids break bones and have to get casts.
Cats? Where?
Casts, not cats.
Oh, sounds like
Yeah,
being a
dipshit.
kid can be dangerous.
Well, sometimes it can be. Ace Reporter is here to tell us how kids can prevent broken bones.
Whether kids are biking, blading, skateboarding, or playing any sport, serious fractures or head injuries could result.
I know none
Proper
of
wrist
these
guards,
kids are
knee
you.
pads, and especially a helmet could save
my
you
brother
more than a
Brian.
trip to the emergency room. It could save
There's my
your
sister
life.
Jamie.
Wearing protective gear is a
And
smart
whose
choice
face
for
is
kids.
that
And that's today's kids health tip.
You know, whether kids are biking, blading, skateboarding, or playing
like an
any
extra.
sport,
Yeah.
serious fractures or head injuries could result. The proper wrist guards, knee pads,
Real
and
oldest
especially a
Hemsworth
helmet
energy.
could save you more than a trip to the emergency room. It could save your life.
Truly.
It's my big time.
Yeah.
There he is.
Goddamn Cooper Manning over here.
Wow.
And I feel pretty confident this is the beginning and the end of my appearance.
Oh man, I bet you got
Wow.
really mad when you found out that TV was broken and all jaggedy like that. If only it was a normal aspect ratio, you would have made it.
You would have, yeah. You don't
Wow,
even get a
man.
speaking
I-
line.
Why did you not do more? Why was there not more Matt Kelly featured in it? Your siblings are
my-
involved. Everyone's
my
involved.
mom-
Susie Q is up there killing it.
My
Okay.
mom hated me. That's the only answer
Your
that I
mom
can come up
hated
with.
you.
Yeah, and that's the end of it. That was the last one. It was the last one
Wow.
produced.
We need to address. So by the end there, Susie Q was over Ted Kibble's like.
She was done with him.
Oh, the way
She
she
was-
says casts, not cats.
Hello,
Yeah,
everyone.
show it again.
Every year, thousands of kids break bones and have to get casts.
Damn.
Where?
Casts, not cats.
Oh.
You dumb asshole.
It's
That-
top tier acting for a.
I was gonna say
unpaid child
Susie Q
actress.
she's a star, man. She's got that riz.
You can hear that Philly accent coming through, bones.
Yeah.
Bones.
Yeah,
It's almost British. Almost like she
Yep.
tried to be Hermione Granger for a second there.
I almost heard Southern in that. Like,
Oh, really? There you go. That's
hurt
funny.
You hurt your bones.
Your bones.
Oh no, White Lotus.
Piper, no,
Oh, no,
your
Piper.
bones. Piper.
Also, like, not for nothing, Ted Kibble's pretty dumb, but she does pronounce the word casts very
She says it weird.
awkwardly.
She says
Of
it.
course.
Hello, everyone, every year thousands of kids break bones and have to get casts.
Like,
No, she says it fine. You don't need to defend Ted Kibbles, all right?
First of all,
Like,
we all okay. By the end, it's obvious Ted Kibble has a drinking problem.
he
right?
does. He's showing up to work sick. He can't understand what his co-host is saying.
Sick. He's sick. He's hungover.
yeah.
That's what it is.
Still unshaven.
Love that little cat sound effect, though.
Yeah.
That's a third time they've used that.
Yeah. Oh, they love it.
Oh, sounds like being a kid can be dangerous.
Then right to the stock footage for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ace Reporter is the only one that has his shit together. If anybody's moving on to the big leagues, it's Ace Reporter.
Well, he's an ace reporter. Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't think the first time we did this, we appreciated that Clark Kent swoop that his hair has going up there. But that's
It is nice.
Gray hair, and he's doing it all with no eyes.
That's the impressive part to me. Maybe he's just constantly blinking, and he blinks at the same frequency as the shutter, so it looks like he's always closed.
That's a great explanation. I can't fathom how I didn't notice the first time this puppet did not have eyes.
Yeah.
I'm only just seeing that. I was probably so trying to focus on seeing Matt Kelly.
Well, Matt, this is your second time watching this. We watched a lot of this last week too. We really deep dove into these puppets.
Well, Matt, you could show this to me every week of my life, and I'll find something new. You know?
Yeah.
God, we really invested in inline skates for a while.
I had rollerblades, and I loved them.
Me too.
Everybody, yeah.
It's the only time I've ever broke a bone. Actually, it's fun. That they're talking about this. It's actually just about me.
I look again, not to celebrate too much of a low budget thing, but I do want us to just admire that that's some good editing right there with that puppet getting hit by the kid in the video.
Oh yeah, you got to keyframe that. First of all, you got to keyed that out. They put a little shadow behind him. Then they keyframed him getting hit. This is a good production. It's shot well. They know what they're doing.
Yeah,
they don't know a star when they see one in Matt Kelly. I'll tell you that.
But yeah, we got my brother here rocking what seems to be a shark T-shirt, and that's my cousin Teeny beside him. It's my Aunt Kathy. Everybody but Matt Kelly in this shot. But the green and purple coloring right here. That is some Charlotte Hornets Jack right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think you could buy those, and I think those are the only colors you could buy those knee pads in at the time. They didn't come in like normal.
Those and jet skis. It's the only colors they come in.
Yeah. He's constantly a trapper keeper, You
can tell. I want to back this up real quick. You can tell that my brother is so confused as to what's happening. He's probably 4 in this moment. When you look at him putting on the helmet, you can tell that he is baffled by what's happening and just taking direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My sister Jamie got it. Natural star. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
How are her eyebrows? First of all, she's got eyebrows, so I'm jealous. I wish I had eyebrows.
Yeah,
but these are good eyebrows.
They are.
Those are, yeah. Those are sitcom eyebrows.
Even that, listen, I know that they made a huge mistake not casting me in this deeper.
Well, we're not sure of that, actually, because these kids are all doing a great job, we got to say.
I was gonna say, I gotta give credit again to Jamie here, my sister Jamie, on this very professional helmet adjustment for the camera, right?
Yeah, no, she's doing. She showed up ready to go. She's ready to
You're
work.
playing stalker in this shot, right? You're playing stalker. That's in your mind.
Hey, great job putting on that helmet. How you
in
doing?
your mind, you're like, okay, my character is I'm a stalker.
Yeah. My character is if I can make her get hurt.
Someone off screen is yelling "Don't bother the talent."
You got called out in the comments. The cameo inspired Steve Jobs wardrobe.
Steve Jobs, you were a little genius, Matt Kelly.
You have a second turtleneck. Are you wearing a turtleneck in this? Are there 2 turtlenecks?
Oh, I'm pretty confident I'm wearing a turtleneck in this.
It was
we shot this
turtleneck
in the winter. So
that's why they're inside doing this and not outside. Because now you have to think they have to skate through the house to get out.
Yeah,
undeniably a black turtleneck.
Wow. Yeah, for sure. It's full Steve Jobs.
You really went full Steve Jobs. That's it. That's amazing.
Wow.
Rarely.
Yeah, that's the great conclusion of the kids' health educational videos.
I will say 15 seconds to wash your hand. That's not enough time to wash your hands, kids.
No, isn't it?
These kids are dirty.
Alphabet? Don't you do the
You gotta
alphabet?
do the alphabet or something.
No, it's still 15, I think, because
Is
I
it?
have an Apple Watch that as soon as I start washing my hands tells me that I should wash them for 15 seconds.
Oh.
And if I don't wash them for a full 15 seconds, it really hits me with a very
That's a
passive aggressive
setting?
message.
Wild.
I'm gonna turn. I didn't know I had that setting.
You can turn it on. You can have it. It will clock your hand washing. Yeah,
I'm in.
Amazing.
I'm in.
It is mostly for me served to remind me that I don't wash my hands for long enough. It has had no impact on my actual behavior. Just every time I wash my hands, I think like, yeah, I should do this for more time. And I
Yeah, you
don't.
just have more guilt. So
Yeah,
it turns
exactly.
you Catholic.
It's good. It just
Okay,
makes me feel
gotcha.
worse about myself. That's what
Yeah.
that's why we have this technology.
Yeah, it's
All right.
called the Catholic watch.
That's my watch. Like, you should wash your hands longer. You should really stand up. I was like, shut up, watch.
It's Sunday. You should go to church.
Oh, Jesus is watching you. He knows
Oh.
what you're doing. I know I'm moving fast.
Masturbating again. I see.
Oh.
Shut up, watch.
Shut up, watch. You know, you have to know that the watch absolutely could do that, and they're just choosing to not give us that feature.
Definitely. Like, oh, you're either rowing or jerking off. What is it?
That's the sound of means the end of our show, and we talk about what we learned today.
Oh,
I learned that parade was money well spent.
Yes.
As we all know.
I learned that everybody hates parades now. Like, parades aren't fun, you guys.
they're bad. They're always bad.
If I went to one more parade, it would be one too many.
A friend of mine actually very recently said out of nowhere, and I wrote it down because it made such an impact on me. It's in my notes on my phone. I just double checked it. The direct quote: "I don't think there's a single thing I hate more in this world than a parade."
Mm-hmm.
That's my buddy Andrew. So there you go. And he didn't even see this parade. That was months ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure this didn't change his mind.
No.
What if it did? What if this turned him around? He said, you know what? Parade's pretty great.
If he was like, I thought I hated parades, but then I watched that Trump parade, and I was like, you know what? This is great.
I'm back in.
Yeah, America's great again. It's crazy.
And we did it.
We did it.
I learned that turtlenecks will never go out of style.
Yeah. I learned
Separately,
that
I haven't worn a turtleneck in probably 2 decades.
Oh, I could not. No,
Yeah.
my chins are too weird for it.
I mean, to
Yeah.
quote, to do a variation of Mitch Hedberg, wearing a turtleneck feels like a very tiny person is trying to bring me down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess I learned that Matt Kelly's entire family are all stars. I did not know that Matt Kelly came from a lineage of
the least famous Kelly here.
Yeah, you're the least. I'm slumming it with Matt Kelly on my show every week. I should be working with the other Kellys.
Wrong kid.
The wrong kid died.
The wrong kid died. It's easy to cut yourself in half with a machete. I should have known that. God, I love that movie.
All right, guys. Come back next week, same time. We're going to talk about the zeitgeist. Have a lot of fun. It was a great week. And anything else before we go?
Listen to Weird Algorithm and Wheatus. Listen to the music of Wheatus.
In that order.
Weird
In that
Algorithm.
order. In that order.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Go
Ween.
listen to
Ween.
an episode of Weird Algorithm, then a Wheatus song, Weird Algorithm, 2 Wheatus songs, Weird Algorithm. Yeah.
And then Ween.
Yeah, and then Ween. Yes, there we go. Yeah, listen to Ween. Put on Pure Guava by Ween and just chill out a little bit.
Listen, we need to do the Geekscape Ween cast one of these days.
One of these
I'm
days.
in.
I'm ready for it, you guys.
I
Let's
mean,
we can start right now.
I'm down with the brown. Let's go.